Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Parenting Podcast from Dubuque, Iowa. We're Pastors Lauren and Joy Hershey, and we're so glad to be here with you today and encourage you in your parenting. And here's where we want to start out today. I was exposed to a group of videos from a ministry called Helping Without Hurting. And such a truth was imparted through that set of short videos about helping people in a way that does not hurt them long term. And here's where we're coming from. That if you subsidize, if you help somebody, if you do something for someone, if you do something for someone that they can do and should do for themselves, you subsidize their weakness and you really cripple them emotionally. And what they were saying on this set of videos was about helping the poor in such a way that did not lock them into poverty. And they say create a dependence on them. That's a good way to put that. Because they said that the way to create a dependence is to tell those people that there's nothing they can do. They have no resources, nothing they can contribute to help getting them out of their situation. You don't have anything and you can do nothing.
Wow. And
secondly, tell them, but I have something and I can do something to help you out of your situation. And you need to let me help you. You need to receive my help. Let me do something for you since you cannot do anything for yourself. And if those people buy into that and buy into what was referred to as our God complex, our pride in a way, our brokenness as fallen people, if that connects with their brokenness and they allow themselves to take on that identity of victimization and dependence, they get locked into their impoverished condition.
Wow, that's really heavy.
It is heavy.
It's a heavy subject.
It is heavy. But in dealing with our kids then, I think back to our children, parents and their children, that if we relate to our children in a way where we do for them what they can do and should do for themselves, we really cripple their maturing and keep them from being strong. I remember one of the best things I ever heard was a minister named Joe McGee, who at one time was the principal of the Christian school of the church we were a part of. He said it this way, and Joe's from the South, he's got his own way about it, but he had a passel of kids. I mean, bunch of girls, all girls. He would buy pantyhose in bulk, he said.
Back in the day when people wore pantyhose.
Well, when they but he would tell his kids as they came to be teenagers, you need to go out and get a job because I'm not going to support you all your life. Just help them in his own humorous way of recognizing that they needed to mature. They needed to leave the nest and become independent. What do you have to say about that?
So when it comes to our children, sometimes we like to be needed. And we want to keep our kids little because we love the little kids and they're so cute. You know, we don't want to see them grow up too fast, so we want to keep them little. But that's maybe not the healthiest attitude to have toward them. That's feeding something in ourselves instead of really nurturing and growing up, helping our children to grow up and mature. And we want, as parents, our job is to help our children grow up and mature. So I've seen some parents do some really smart things in these areas of helping children mature. Like sometimes our children are able to do things that we're actually doing for them. Sometimes it's little things like cutting their own meat on their plate. When they get to an age where they can do that, don't just let them sit there and say, I don't want to. You know, encourage them. This is how you do it. Here's the knife, here's the fork. Do it. Obviously, a 2-year-old probably doesn't need a knife, but you know, like a butter knife with a little serration on it, they can use when they are pretty little to learn to cut their own meat.
Call them up to it.
Sure, it's quicker. If you go over there and you cut it up for them, you know, it's quicker. But you're doing something for them that they could do on their own, and they could be gaining a life skill that they can do on their own and not depending on you. And that does something in their mindset, not just in their plate. Does something in their mindset. It gives them that feeling of capability. I'm capable. When they can zip their own jacket, let them zip their own jacket. It may take them a little longer than it would take for you to whip it up there, but let them fiddle with that little zipper and learn to do that on their own.
Yep.
Things like when you're in a restaurant, teach them to order for themselves, to speak up and speak in such a way that the waiter or waitress can hear them and understand them. That's empowering to children.
That sure is.
Sure, you probably have to help them decide what they're going to eat, but then once they get that, help them learn
There you go.
to order for themselves.
That's really
and the
good.
first time they do it, it won't work. You'll have to probably help them the first few
Coach 'em.
times, but encouraging them, they're capable. They can do this. Just little things like that. And there was another one that I want to talk about too.
Yeah.
Something that little kids can do when they're going overnight to grandma's house, let them pack their own bag. You're going to need pajamas, clean underwear, you need shoes, you need an outfit for tomorrow. Here's your bag, go pack it.
There you go.
It's an area of capability that you can begin to instill in your child. Sure, sometimes they might forget their clean underwear. Nobody's going to die. Or they, might forget to pack a little jacket. Well, you know what? Grandma's going to make sure they don't freeze. But to begin to see your children as capable instead of needy is going to be so important for your family and so important for your kids' future, so that they don't see themselves as needy, helpless dependents, but they begin to see themselves as capable people who can do this thing.
Yes.
So, step by step.
And you're doing this thing too.
Yeah, have a great week.